Here at home, thousands of protesters are expected across the country tomorrow, rallying against President Trump and his policies. The so-called No Kings protests are happening the same day as the military parade in D.C. to commemorate the Army's 250th anniversary. And this all comes, of course, after several days of often violent protests against federal immigration raids that have put many on edge. There are dozens of No King protests planned here in Minnesota tomorrow, including a march from St. Paul College to the state capitol that is expected to draw big crowds. Joe McCoy joins us now with more on what to expect tomorrow. Joe?
Well, Julie, with thousands of people expected to be in attendance, security and safety are top of mind for organizers and law enforcement. Part of the security approach includes volunteer marshals trained in de-escalation. A quiet Friday night at the Minnesota State Capitol. However, tomorrow afternoon will be anything but, as St. Paul Police estimates 10,000 people will descend upon the Capitol's front lawn. Tonight at Lake Monster Brewing in St. Paul, preparations were underway by protesters.
People are making signs that they will be carrying at the march tomorrow.
Roughly 40 No Kings protests are scheduled across Minnesota tomorrow, with an estimated couple thousand happening across the country.
We haven't had a lot of trouble in the past, and knock on wood, we won't this time either.
Ann Tracy with Women's March Minnesota helped organize the event. The protest begins at 11 a.m. at St. Paul College. People will then walk down John Ireland Boulevard to the Capitol, where Governor Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, and others are scheduled to speak and perform beginning at 1.
How are you guys going to ensure that with so many people there that things don't get out of hand, or if something does start to escalate, that it's able to be de-escalated?
Well, that's where we have a lot of marshals, and they really have had a lot of training in de-escalation.
Tracy says more than 100 volunteer marshals will assist alongside State Patrol and St. Paul PD. State Patrol says road closures will be in place around the Capitol complex. If people show up to counter-protest, organizers have a unique way to handle them.
We have found that nothing stops detractors faster than getting a few brass instruments and just surrounding them with music and drowning them out that way. And that has worked really well.
As we have reported, there has been a lot of unrest across the country this week, but Tracy says organizers have no more concerns about things getting out of hand than they usually would. Setup outside the Capitol will begin tomorrow morning. Julie.
Did you get any sense from police officers or law enforcement about their feelings about tomorrow, whether they're concerned or what their plans are?
Well, both State Patrol and St. Paul PD, Julie, said they aren't willing to disclose any of their security measures. That, of course, to protect the safety of everyone involved.
All right. Thank you, Joe.